Welcome back to the most listened to real estate and mortgage show in the universe, known universe, broadcasting, streaming. I don't know.
Podcasting.
We might have as many people listening as Joe Rogan does.
So we've got our YouTube channel.
Yep.
Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger. You can check out this show on mine or Cleve Loveland. Do you have this on your YouTube channel?
Yep.
You put it on. Then, and what YouTube channel is that? Do we know what that is?
Loveland Report.
Loveland Report. Okay. And then we're on Spotify.
Yep.
We're on iHeart Radio.
Yep.
And we're on the radio live.
Yes.
Okay.
You're on three other times, right? No,
yep.
2 other times.
Yep. So I've got tomorrow's show, and on the bone.
All right.
Saturdays on the bone.
All right.
I think I'm moving from 11 to 12 on the bone.
Santa's bringing us a present right now.
Yeah. What's Santa going to bring us?
Bigger sales around the country. Sales are up almost 4% year over year around the country. The South is up over 2% over last year, up number of sales. And this is probably I think people finally thinking the election's behind us. They're kind of satisfied with the economy, and things will kind of hopefully return to some sense going on out there in the economy, a little bit of relief at the grocery store and the gas pump, and hopefully in interest rates as you get to work on that, Bruce.
I'm working on it.
All right. You call the bond market and have them get in line there. But that's one good thing right now. But holiday sales, like right now, Bruce, I'm writing contracts for January. So, and people say, is December a good month to list? I'm like, yeah, there's sales happening. January, you might have a little more competition. Traditionally, that's a bigger listing month, but it is so personal. I went to see a gentleman yesterday, and it's funny. His market around him is flooded with listings just like his. He's got a small condominium in Metro West, but when I checked his neighborhood he's in, he's the only one, because this condominium only has dues. They're about half of what everybody else's are. Well, very well run, which that shows.
You mean that community is half of what everybody.
Yeah, the homeowners' dues are like $250 instead of $500 like everybody else.
That's hard.
So this neighborhood sells very quickly, and I told him that. Plus, also it's vacant. He's got monthly dues on it, taxes, insurance, utilities, those kinds of things. He's not using it anymore as a rental property. It was for his kids going to college. So those types of things come into play when I'm helping somebody make their real estate plan. And that's one thing I want to point out. So it's depending on what your time frame is, I can tell you, yes, let's get on the market, or no, wait till January. I can help you with that. Wait till spring. All of these things come into play. When's your new home being finished? You got a lot of things going on with your builders. Let's talk about them in a second. But this is a good time of year, and we're going to go into that. And I think the thing right now is relaxed. I call it relaxed inventory. Like one of my team members, Nanette, she showed a buyer, and I remember I talked to him like a year and a half ago, and he's prepping for his wife. He's retired. He's prepping for his wife's retirement. They wanted to downsize, get a single story home, and they're going to sell at 7, buy at 3 or 350. They were able to look at 15, 18 homes around town over the month we had them looking, just to get an idea. Then they found the one. Now, hot market. We go into that next year. I don't know if we'll get as heated up as we were with cars lined up around the block and 20 offers, but especially in that starter price range.
I hope not.
Yeah, it just really makes it difficult. We need steady. We need 2020, which was normal.
You know what? We need 3 to 5% property increases per year. You start getting into 10 to 15%, and it's just going to create future problems.
The one thing about Central Florida, Bruce, the median price around the country from this article, $414,000 around the country.
Okay,
our median's $370,000.
Okay,
so we're still affordable. And actually, I printed the article.
So did that go down then? That median price?
No, average price is $470,000.
Okay,
that's way up year over year. And that's because the builders didn't really, they reacted a little bit, but they didn't stop building 2,500 square foot homes and start building 1,200 square foot homes. They're still building 2,000 and up, 2,000 square feet and up. So the average price has climbed a lot. So, and then inflation did that too. Your builders aren't lowering prices, are they?
No, they're not lowering.
Yeah, they're raising prices. So, and it's probably really hard. I remember people, a year ago, builders having, guaranteed 5% rate. That's not always going on, but your builders have it though.
My builders are, I will tell you, the builders I'm working with right now, I work with them because I like working with people that I like to work with. So I'm working with Trinity Family Builders. I've been working with them for 15 years, different companies that they've owned, but they build beautiful homes starting in the mid 400s, going up into, that 700,000 or 800,000. They've got a 6-bedroom, 4-bath home in some of these communities.
Yep.
They've got St. Cloud all the way to Leesburg, Groveland, Mineola, Claremont. They're putting a beautiful community in Astatula that is going to be over the top. They'll pay all your closing costs.
I was in Astatula last week talking with one of my sellers.
Yeah. And you know what? If you want to get out of the area a little bit, but not too far away where you can't get to a Publix, that's a great opportunity. Realtors, clients that are looking for new construction, you're going to want to at least check out Trinity Family Builders, the best family builder in the business in this area. I can tell you. Then I've got Southern Homes down in Lakeland, Bartow, Avon Park, Babson Park, Polk County, Sebring. I got a couple of transactions. We're doing not only traditional mortgages for them, but we're doing construction perms, and I'm doing one of their deals. They'll build on your own lot in that area too. So they will pay all your closing costs. I really like working with these guys. It's a family-owned business, small business. Now they'll do about 350 homes a year. Okay. So it's not small, but they're not like a DR Horton or a Lennar. Right. But here's the thing. We also can help you with Lennar. So one of our other branches has the Lennar account. And if you are interested in using our services, you must be pre-approved by me first. But if you have a pre-approval letter and you go into a Lennar home, they will pay your closing costs, the same incentives if you use their own mortgage company, and you can get to use me. Now, here's a benefit to that. How about have Cleve go out and show you the homes, and he can take you to the communities where they pay the most money on closing costs?
Because it does not cost you to have your realtor with you when you walk into a builder.
It saves you money.
It saves you money because they still pay us. It doesn't raise the price on the home.
They don't lower the house price when you don't have a realtor.
Our opinion on resale value. The people selling for the builder don't quite know resale value because they've moved on and gone to the next subdivision. They're not going to be there in 7-8 years when you need to sell. And they didn't tell you that the 4-lane highway was coming behind that privacy wall they charge you $20,000 for.
Right.
So not saying that they would do that, but resale value is one way to set yourself up. Is that worth it? And is it worth, what are you getting for the new home compared to the resale home? So I have people, I answer these questions for them all the time on new construction, but the builders are raising their prices.
Yes.
Our interest rates are going to come down. We're going to speed up next year. One thing I had the article, Bruce, I can't find it, but I do remember exactly the number. Florida, number one state in the union for people moving to net migration.
Is that right? More than Arizona.
Oh yeah. Net. I remember, I'll find the article. I'll bring it on next week, but number one in the union in the United States for net migration. So that counts the people that moved out. We had 367,000 people move into Florida. Right. Now, I don't know how many came to Central Florida. Let's say it was a third of them, 20%. But still, as Florida grows, and remember that our median price being $370 here in Central Florida.
Yes.
Around the country, it's $415.
Yes.
Most of those people
makes
come
a big
in here.
Difference for a first-time home buyer.
Housing was like weather was a 30% reason they did it, and pricing of housing was 30%. That kind of thing. Tax structures was part of it, but people are coming here as we go. And then what I really would love to know how to track this, the number of people that move here to Central Florida from other parts of Florida. That's the big thing. We're centrally located. We don't get hammered by hurricanes too much like they have on the coast. Our insurance is cheaper. We are a great little, I don't call us a small town anymore. We're over 3 million people in Central Florida. So medium town, but it is affordable. It's a great place to live. We're about wherever you're at, everything we've got to do. Then you're just an hour from the beaches, both ways just about. So if you have any questions about selling or buying next year, or somebody wants to move to Central Florida, I can help them. 407-352-8118
or lovelandreport.com or cleveloveland.com.
For
the Loan Arranger, Bruce Woodburn, Cross Country Mortgage. I'm here for you. I guarantee you, I promise you this, you can shop anybody you want. Matter of fact, I get my clients on the phone or on a Zoom call, and we'll pull up and we'll compare rates from other companies.
Yeah. Well, you guys are all getting your money in the same spot.
Well, it's all mortgage-backed securities.
And what people do, what the other companies do, and I've seen this because all the people you rescue for me, they call me, go, I saw the Rocket has this or that. I go, well, I guarantee it's a bait and switch. And the guy reading off the screen in Bangladesh was just telling you the rate that you wanted to hear. And after Bruce sits down with you and you go through it with them, they're going to end up with the best rate available for them.
That happened to me last week. I had a client that said, oh no, I got a better rate in terms from Rocket Mortgage than you gave me, Bruce. And I went, I don't think that's possible. Send me over their agreement. And they sent it over to me. And I'm like, this is not even close to what I was giving you.
Yeah.
So I beat them by rate,
knowing how to read it too. Knowing how to read it too. Because
most people don't. These
APR
documents
points
are so doggone confusing. It's ridiculous.
So yeah, knowing your numbers. So at Loveland Properties, when I sit down with you to buy or to sell, when you're going to buy, and I say, all right, talk to Bruce. What's your loan? You're a 5% down program. What are the points going to be? We got compression.
Right.
What's your price point? Figuring up all those things. What are your inspections going to be? How big of a house? I can get you within a couple $100s of your closing cost. What are the taxes? What is the insurance? So
100%.
All those things we can know. When you're selling, I just had somebody, I went to go show them what they would make when they were selling. Like, I've never seen all these numbers. I never knew all the closing costs of selling the home. I'm like, oh my God. It's just, like I said, bless your little heart.
Everyone should know exactly what cost they are up against at any given time. If you don't know, then call me at 407-250-9144, 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. And I guarantee you, we will get you set up so that you know exactly what you're up against and which programs work best for you. You got to have options.
That's right.
And that's what we'll do, is create options for
tax tips, Bruce, real quick before we're about halfway through the segment. I want to talk about that. Last month of the year, this is the time. If you got the money, make an extra mortgage payment. If you itemize, that's going to help you. An extra mortgage payment.
About 10 years off your mortgage by making an extra payment.
And to be in line for that, make sure when you send it in, you write on there it's January's payment, or
right,
because you don't want
this is to be applied towards principal.
Well, you want it to be January's payment, not applied towards principal on that. So I've seen them do that. They go, oh, we got an extra $2,000. Let's apply that to principal. Make sure they get that right. So then your interest statement coming when you get that 1098, is that it? With the mortgage interest on it, you get that. If you have a rental property, any expenses you need to write off. If you're able to write those off, you need to get a rental property. That will usually, a rental property is going to save you, if you are making below $125,000 a year, that you can depreciate the property, will save you about $4, $5, $6 a year, depending on how much expenses you have on it. It turns into its own little business. So know all these things. I just went to see a gentleman on a rental property who's selling. He interviewed 2 other realtors. I walk in the door, go through everything with him and talk about it. And I start talking about 1031 exchanges. He looked at me like I was speaking Chinese. And I said, nobody's talked to you about a 1031? He goes, no, because he said he's moved away from here. He's in Jacksonville. He wanted to sell this property. It's older. He didn't want to renovate it. He's going to buy a rental property in Jacksonville. And nobody had talked about doing a 1031.
It's incredible.
He thought he was going to have to pay about about 40 grand in capital gains tax. He's owned this property over 15, 18 years.
Right.
So 1031 exchanges. Make sure your realtor, or just call me, knows your real estate plan and can help you.
Well, at a 1031 exchange, just so you guys, you understand, if you own investment properties presently and you sell one, you are subject to capital gains on the gain that you made, gain that you made, right? And it's up to 28%. So that's a lot of money. Now, what you can do is you can parlay that equity that you made, and instead of paying taxes on it, it goes through an escrow company or a trustee, and then it funnels into the next property and then resets the depreciation. So you get the depreciation benefit
on the new one.
On the new one. So you don't pay any capital gains taxes on it. So I'm going to be doing that with all my properties as I start to retire. And that's how that's exactly what I'm going to do.
And on the back end of that, Bruce, I've got a gentleman right now who's going to sell his big McMansion. The kids have moved off, gone to college, getting married. He's in 4,500 square feet and he's got 6 rental properties. Well, we're going to sell 2 of those, 1031, 2 of those. They're probably worth about $250 each. Buy one $500,000 single story, 2,000 square foot home.
Right.
He's going to rent that for a while, then move into it and homestead it and eliminate the capital gain. So there's all kinds of things you can do. You got to know about these things. And you can call me at 407-352-8118 to work on your real estate plan. 407-352-8118, or go to cleveloveland.com.
Yeah. And we're very familiar with 1031 exchanges, but we're familiar with all kinds of things, including reverse mortgages, second mortgages, home equity line of credit, reverse home equity line of credit.
You got a new product this week? What new product do you have?
Well, I'm sure I have something. Okay. I'm sure I've got something. VA, FHA, refinances, debt consolidation, down payment assistance programs, you name it, grants, you name it, we got it. The Loan Arranger, 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. That's 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. Cleve can be reached right now at 407-352-8118. That's 407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Radio Show. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to talk to you again about refinancing. So I'll be right back.